Welcome to Read Between the Lines, a podcast where lit as in literature or lit as in cool or cutesy are combined to read between the lines of one book per episode. For today's reading, we have an award-winning literary piece by Rachel Lippincott entitled 5 Feet Apart. I am Keith.
I'm Aras.
I'm Pat.
I'm Zian.
And I'm Kim. So, 5 feet apart. Guys, what do you think is the story all about?
Guys, have you ever loved someone whom you cannot be with? Whom you cannot be close with? Oh my god, I'm tearing up. So, the story is...
Wait, before we delve deep into the story, let us know first, who are the characters? Who are the main protagonists of 5 Feet Apart? What?
Me again. Sure. So, one of the characters in the novel is Stella. Such a pretty name. So, Stella is actually a girl diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. If you don't know what that means, please keep on listening. So, with her illness, Stella is a very stuck-up person. She sticks close to the rules, her regimen, and her treatments because, of course, this girl is actually aiming for a transplant, which is a very big step towards her health and
Healing.
healing. Thank you for that.
Okay.
So that's what I can give you about Stella without giving any spoilers.
How about Will?
Will is Stella's love interest.
Okay.
Yeah. He is a teenager living with the same condition, like what Stella has or have.
Cystic fibrosis?
Yep.
Oh.
And he is also one of the protagonists of the novel. So Will has a fatal complication called
Sebastian.
Yeah, and has been receiving experimental treatments all over the world for the past 8 months. Must be tough for him, right?
He's a traveler.
And in spite of his objections, Will believes that since his death is inevitable, he should not spend time for what is left cooped up in a hospital. So Will has dreams to travel the world and is a cartoonist.
Cartoonist?
He's
Oh,
good at
he
art.
draws.
Yeah, he draws a lot, and I think, for me, I think that's one of his most attractive traits. Yeah, he's naturally charming. Yeah, as the book describes him,
Well, let me tell you about Poe. He is actually Stella's best friend. He too suffers from, the cystic fibrosis. So they met at the hospital and everything. He is, of course, the best friend, and he's a very fun person. He too has his own issues, and his journey is quite tragic, let me tell you, but it's a meaningful one. So that's Poe. Do you know Nurse Barbara?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, of course. So Nurse Barbara, or they call it Barb, she's a nurse.
Okay.
And then she was also like considerate and strict, and she has a motherly trait that takes care of Will, Stella, and she became strict because of her patients before who were also lovers, but their lives ended tragically like that.
Nurses really have a...
Can I borrow the mic, please?
That's why she was so strict.
So, Nurse Barb, when you said that she also had the same patient, does that mean that those patients also suffered from cystic fibrosis and maybe loved each other?
Yes.
Yeah, alright. Now that we know the characters, how about we tell you guys about the story? So,
What do you guys think?
Of course.
Let's dig deep.
Patrice.
yeah. Okay, Patrice.
Go, let's dig even deeper.
Take it away.
I will take the whole house away, Char. Okay. So first, let's start with Stella and Will's course, introduction, how we met them. So we met Stella in her hospital room. She was actually doing to-do lists. She's checking off her to-do list, which is one of her traits. She's just a control freak, mind you.
Very organized.
Yeah,
very nice.
she's very organized. Even if she isn't really a student, like she's in the hospital, she isn't really a formal student. She's very organized, and her friends came inside or visited her to tell about their plans for a school trip to Cabo or Cabo.
Cabo.
She's actually the one who planned it, and ironically, she's the one who cannot be with them because of her illness.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
It's very disappointing, especially in her place. And because of that, fast forward, we meet Will, or Stella meets Will because she sees Will letting his friends borrow his hospital room to be a intercourse.
Oh, yes. No, I must. Did they really?
They did. Will follows Stella on her visit to the NICU, and he kind of flirts with her. He's like, "Oh my God, I see an angel," or something like, "I thought this place was gonna be full of old people. Luckily, I found you."
I'm surprised though.
That's very
Expected it from him.
But considering Stella saw how Will let his friends use his room as a motel room, yeah, she immediately rebuked his affections.
Review.
Rebuked.
It's like a turn off, right?
Yeah,
It's like
definitely.
a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Exactly. After their interaction with each other, they were caught first by Barb. So Barb is the nurse of both Will and Stella, and she keeps administering the rule 6 feet apart. So 6 feet apart is actually a rule for people with cystic fibrosis that they have to keep distance with each other, because once they are close, they will have cross infection and it will lead to complications in their system, in their health. Unfortunately.
I have an additional. Okay, since especially with the case of Will and Stella, they need to be 6 feet apart because, as mentioned, Will has BSEd-English. So BSEd-English, it is a kind of infection that grows in your immune system when you have cystic fibrosis. So having that, Stella can never really interact with Will in the first place, because if Stella gets BSEd-English, she will need to kiss her new lungs goodbye.
It's very sad.
Tragic.
It's very tragic, guys.
Yeah.
After that, Stella learns more about Will as she questioned Barb. So when Stella somehow something in her ticked, it's like a gut feel that says Will is not doing his treatments and his rebellious side is taking over him. So Stella, being a control freak as she is, she began to somehow strike a deal. A deal, as I would like to call it. So Stella strikes up a deal with Will because according to her, he's messing her up.
That's very
And of course, a deal must be two ways. So in order for Will to administer his treatment seriously, his favor is for him to draw Stella, as he was an artist.
Yeah.
He's a very good cartoonist.
Yep.
So Will drew Stella with a fire breathing mouth. Yeah.
Just like a dragon.
So what happens after is that Will saw a long portrait. So Will, being curious as a fellow artist, he asked who did the
Drawing.
the drawing. Stella said that we're not that close to ask questions like that, which was referring to the questions at the back. So she hangs up, and Will was like, "What is going on?" And then that is when Will tried to search on the internet. So Will and his friends, Jason and Hope, they tried to search on the YouTube videos of Stella, on the YouTube channel of Stella, when did Abby have gone? And they found out that the last video of Abby was like a year ago. So they came to a question and a conclusion that what happened to Abby?
Or
Where is she?
yeah, where is she? Because it was 1 year ago, and it was very eminent that Stella and Abby is very close. So what really happened? What happened to Abby, guys?
Or where is Abby?
Yeah, what happened to Abby? She actually died. So after that, they like had a quarrel, and that is when Stella's G2?
G2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
because
attached in her
stomach,
It
right?
got infected.
yeah. So Stella's G2 got infected, and she unfortunately had to undergo a treatment. No, a surgery.
Surgery, emergency surgery, right?
Yeah.
The skin around it was actually infected. And in order to treat the infection, they have to replace her G tube. So G tube, or a gastronomical tube, I guess, it's like a tube, since cystic fibrosis not only affects the lungs, it also affects one's digestive system. So they can't really digest the food. So they have to eat. Yeah, they can't really eat. So they have to take like
You have to feed through that tube.
yeah, it's like watered down food or shake or something like that.
It's connected directly into her,
Stomach?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's kind of like a second throat.
What Will did was get the long portrait of Abby and put it on the room where Stella needs to go on with the surgery. And then, aside from that, I think the sweetest thing that Will did to Stella was sing her the song that Abby always sings before the surgery. But unfortunately, after that, Barb found out that Will snuck into the surgery room, and she warned Will. She said that you remind me of Trevor and Amy. Trevor and Amy are also patients of Barb when she was just starting, who also have cystic fibrosis. And she let them break the rules. So I'm guessing she let them meet each other, fall in love with each other, or maybe even
Close to each other.
Yeah.
Or having a physical contact even.
yeah.
Doing them favors.
Yeah. So Amy has BSEd and Trevor doesn't. Unfortunately, Trevor contracted the BSEd and died, I think, 8 months later. Amy did live for another decade, but also died. So that really hit Will. That hit Will in a way that, no, this is not right. If I care about Stella, I should not be this reckless around her. So Will also realized at this point how serious his illness is from Barb's story. So he began to distance himself after Stella's recovery from the surgery, and he began to be depressed. Even though Stella wanted to reach out to him, he pushed her away.
Yes.
Yeah.
He ignored her.
Yeah, because he was scared. What if there is something that's gonna happen to Stella? Knowing how Stella is very, very
Fragile.
She's very
Yeah.
fragile. He
And
realized how
vulnerable.
destructive he could be.
yeah, and knowing how Stella is trying so hard to stay alive just for him to wreck it with his own selfish desires. So at this point, Stella is the one who now reached out to Will. By how?
By stealing.
Stealing?
No! Not literally stealing, okay? So,
Sneaking.
sneaking. So, like before Stella actually formulated a plan to, get closer to Will, she actually had an argument with Poe.
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
forgot about that.
Poe was her best friend ever
Yeah.
since she came to St. Grace's Hospital. So, when Will closed the door in her face for him to ignore her and to avoid her, to keep her safe, Poe actually told Stella that she shouldn't push things. She shouldn't push things because Will is like Abby. They are rebels. And
Risk takers, right?
yeah, they're risk takers, and people with cystic fibrosis can't actually take risks. And the fact that Stella is actually aiming for new lungs, her focus must be on that, on living, on being safe. So Stella refuted Poe. So when Poe said, people like us can't have these things, Stella refuted it. We can have these things. What about you? You push every chance of love you get. So don't give me advices.
Oh.
After that, it's very stressful for Stella after her surgery. Will is ignoring her. She is ignoring Po. Po is ignoring her. And after some time, Po caved in. Can't really be angry with your best friend forever, right? They had a heart-to-heart talk. And Stella realized she had this idea that what if this time I won't let my sickness steal anything or anyone from me. This time I will be the one who will be the thief. I will be stealing. That's why I told you.
Oh.
She was stealing. Yeah, she was stealing. Not literally, but she stole a feet apart. 1 feet apart, 12 inches. That was based on the book, not on my words, okay? 12 inches. She posted that on a video actually. Ever since Will ignored her, he didn't answer even his texts, her calls. So he put it on a video for him to really see and for the whole world to see.
Oh, she knew
because-
that Will was her, like,
Yeah.
avid viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a fan.
He was a fan, a love-struck fan. When Will viewed that video, he was like, damn, this girl's the one. This girl's gonna
We know Will can't resist, right?
Yeah, Will
When
can't
it
resist.
comes to Stella.
Yeah, this girl will not only take my heart but my breath away.
Oh.
She did.
According to
Me happy. Thing.
Okay,
did it
so when Stella proposed stealing 1 foot, 12 inches, what she had in her was a
Pool cue.
a pool cue.
where did she get that?
Yeah, where did she got the pool cue?
Okay, that's
The
That's
one
what
that we
we
use
use
for
for
billiards.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Like the balls?
yeah.
you.
to push.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that to hit the
it's
ball.
the stick, guys. It's the stick. It's the stick. It's the
Yeah,
stick that
okay,
you use
okay.
for billiards, guys. So Stella used the pool cue or the billiard stick as the distance. So her her carrying the other end and Will with the another. So they went on a date inside the hospital, which is very romantic.
Unconventional but romantic.
Very initiative, no? Okay, it feels exactly like holding hands,
Yeah.
Like if they
but
cannot
5
touch,
feet apart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they cannot touch each other with their hands, so they will touch it by the use of the pool
Yeah,
cue.
the ends.
Yeah. So they went on a date. First was the aquarium on the playroom of the kids, and then the pool.
Pool
The
scene.
pool.
Yeah, the pool was like quite intimate for both
Our
of them.
favorite
Yes.
part.
That was your favorite.
We love intimacy here.
Oh, yes.
Not me.
No.
Yes, the bumaya.
No.
The word stuck, huh?
Yeah.
It resonates.
Not me. Get me out of that. No, I'm not interested. Sorry. Okay, so after the pool scene, which was very intimate, they went and just talk about life, get to know each other more and more. Bill also told Stella how it is going to be his birthday on the second day. Like, sa makalawa, in Tagalog. You get that, guys? So like, long story short, Stella did a surprise birthday party for Will, where not just Jason and Hope, but also her friends, Camilla and Maya went on the cafeteria's VIP lounge.
She planned it all within 48 hours. That's
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah, I could never.
Yes, but unfortunately, all that rising action now we're on the climax, everyone. So
Brace yourselves, everyone.
Yeah.
Get on. Get your tissues around you.
yeah, so when Barb found out about their secret celebration in the cafeteria, they three, because Poe was there, them three was sent back to their floor, which is the 3rd floor, and they were like, "Why are you doing this? Do you guys want to die?" And like Poe said that, "Oh, it's being alive."
Having some fun.
We're just following the rules. We're being cautious as what you taught us.
They made sure they were at a distance.
Yeah.
At a safe distance.
So, in a way, Poe joked it off. Like, he joked everything off.
So the climax was Poe died.
That's so
That's so
Yeah,
tragic.
Stella's best friend ever since she was 6, where who she shared her illness with. This is the cystic fibrosis. Poe died.
Yeah, the lights died. They both died.
So after Poe died, Stella was very devastated, because it's her best friend. She already lost Abby. She's losing everyone around her when it's supposed to be her. It's supposed to be her death that was already assumed by many people, by her parents, by her friends, only for Poe to die. So she went rebellious. She was like, all this treatment, all this staying alive when you're just going to die anyway. So it also devastated Will to the point where he planned to finally leave the hospital because Will said that once he turns 18, he will leave at his own will because his mom will not be able to control him anymore. So after that, Stella went outside the hospital on the snow, and then Will saw her, and then Stella was like, chill, Will, it's just life. It's going to end anyways.
But she was going to live as wild as Abby, right?
Yeah, for the
She
first
became the
time.
rebel.
That moment,
Yeah.
she was having a crisis.
Yeah, that moment she was really crushed by the circumstances of her life that she was not able to think thoroughly, and all she wanted at that moment was a sense of freedom, which was in a rebellion way. Which is very ironic, guys, because in the start of the story, it was Will, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Will who was very rebellious, who was
The rule
The risk
breaker.
taker.
The rest-
Yeah.
The rule breaker.
like the rule breaker, only for Stella to be the one saying that exact quote to him. So Stella was like, I want to go to that light, the light on the very far off.
Holiday lights.
Yeah, holiday lights. So they went, and then Stella broke many rules. They held hands with Will, but at a distance, at an arm length distance, 5 feet apart. Do you guys think it's still 5 feet apart?
No, I guess
I,
it's not.
I guess it's not.
Two? I think it's 2.
2 feet.
2 feet.
They're
apart.
holding each other's hand.
Yeah, and then
Wait, like skin to skin, right?
Yes.
no,
They had
they
gloves on.
They had
Oh,
they had
gloves.
on.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's still skin to
But
skin.
it was too close.
Yeah, but it's still too close. So they went on this park where it has many snow. They played on the snow like little kids, and they even went with a really close contact with each other. At one point, they even had the urge to kiss. Yeah, to kiss one another. But unfortunately, Will still knows his limitations for Stella. He's like, we can't, Stella. So after that, they continued with their journey, and then Stella found this lake which was frozen, and she was like, "Oh, I want to ski."
Skate.
Skate.
It's like an ice rink.
Sorry, we have no winter here in the Philippines, so I do not know what the hell is
Stand up.
that. Yeah. So they went for ice skating, and then they heard that the ice is going to break. So like Bill says to Stella that let's get out of here, and then Stella was like okay, and then there's a bridge, right? Because it's a lake. So Stella was sat on the railing of the bridge, but she unfortunately fell. Yeah.
She
She fell to the ice.
Like the ice
Like the ice broke.
Yeah, the ice broke.
Yeah, she
Fell
fell
into
to
the
the ice, and then the ice
water.
broke, and then she drowned on the icy waters. So what Will did was like, she like, Stella, hang on there. She was able to get Stella.
He grabbed him, he grabbed her out.
Yeah, but she was not breathing properly. So she
Yes.
had,
doing CPR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not working, so he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
No.
They didn't kiss, but they had a mouth resuscitation.
Yeah.
And that's like a
It's
big
a matter
no-no,
of-
right?
yeah, since Will has BC-Asia. Yeah.
Stella can probably contract it from that
Yes.
interaction.
And you know what is the cherry on top of this, guys? It's just while they were at a rebellion stage on the park, Stella actually got a text from her parents.
Tons of texts.
Yeah, tons and tons of texts that her new lungs is finally here. Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah,
He's ready for
the transplant. Yeah. And what did she do? She ignored it because at that moment she realized, or she think that Bill is more important than this. You're going to die anyways. lung transplant, new lungs, it will just
Deteriorate over time.
its lifespan is only 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. So when Will finally got the text and the accident happened, after that, when Will was like, we're able to save Stella, and then CPR, he did CPR on her. They were rushed to the hospital, and then at that moment, he was like, Stella, you need the new lungs. And Stella is still resisting, guys. She is still resisting. She doesn't want the new lungs because once she has the new lungs, her and Will cannot even be in the same zip code together.
Yes.
Because new lungs are more prone to BSEd and you know what. Fortunately, Will was able to convince her to Stella take the lungs.
Yes.
Take the
Oh,
lungs.
and Abby did.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How selfless they are.
Yeah.
She was unconscious.
Yeah. So Abby, when Stella was drowning, and Abby appeared, and they had a heart-to-heart talk, and she pushed Stella to stay alive. And Stella was like, "No, I want to go with you." And then Abby was like, "You have to live."
Like which part? Like Abby's soul and Stella's soul were talking, and then they saw Stella's body being
Yeah,
revived by
by
Will.
Will. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Out of the body experience kind of
Yes.
thing. Near death experience.
Yeah. So the final push that Abby gave for Stella to continue living was for her to reassure that when she died, she said that
It didn't hurt.
Stella, it did not hurt. I wasn't scared and I died. Which was the question that Stella was very
Adamant. She was holding on to it.
yeah. So after all that ordeal, now Stella is finally getting her new lungs. Will thought to himself that I cannot go on with her being with me. She is not safe when she is with me. So as a final move, this is now the following action, everyone. Will surprised her by making her dream come true, which is to see the light. See the light outside her window. And after that is a very heartbreaking ending for them both, where Will has to bid goodbye. Yeah, bid goodbye to Stella because he knows that he is the threat to Stella at that moment. So
It was his final act of love.
yeah,
He did it out of love.
for Stella. Yeah. So that is the ending, but time skip 8 months later, we saw them again. Will first at the airport going to Brazil with Jason, and then Stella was also there on the same airport going to Rome to see the Sistine Chapel, which was her bucket list. One of her bucket lists.
Yeah. Chapel with Abby, right?
Yeah, with Abby.
She had to travel alone.
Yeah. No, not alone.
with Naya.
And
Camilla.
Camilla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they met on the airport,
And they did it again.
yeah. I
The
think
stealing.
the stealing of 5 feet. I think that is the end of the story. Okay.
Actually,
It's
it's like an open ending.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's an open ending, but I think it's really nice that even though it is an open ending, it insinuates a happy ending.
Yeah.
It's not very heartbreaking where one died or like one moved away and never to be seen again. We saw them have another chance to
Reunited.
love.
To reunite,
Yeah.
meet again.
Yeah. So after our storytelling,
We'll play a game. So in this game, we'll be doing the wheel of names, but instead of names, we'll be doing the wheel of questions. So this is this is like put your finger down or never have I ever kind of stuff. Questions are deeply rooted in the novel.
okay. So why don't we get this game started, everyone?
Question number 1.
Oh, question number 1. Okay, everyone, buckle up.
Okay, question number 1, according to my very illegible and beautiful handwriting. If you are the parent of Stella, would you be angry with Will for endangering Stella if she contracted B. Sebastian? Flashback to the CPR scene.
The No, the CPR scene where Will did mouth to mouth to Stella was very high risk because Stella might get the basepacia when it's finally her time to have her new lungs. So yeah.
Anybody wants to answer?
First, okay.
Yeah, ako for me, as a parent, okay, given the situation,
You're a parent?
yeah, if
Okay.
I were the parent
You were a
of Stella,
parent, yes.
Let's clear things up here.
I think anger would be a natural reaction, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But fueled by fear and protectiveness. But Will's choices, while rooted in love, it carries life-threatening risk. Yeah. So it's important to know na Will's actions are not malicious in any way. Especially that specific scene. He was just trying to help, trying his best to revive Stella, who was in a life and
Or
death
death
situation.
situation,
So I think anger might come first. Yeah, it's valid, but understanding and compassion should follow. We should learn to forgive,
Yes.
knowing the reason behind it. We should understand and provide support.
Can I borrow the mic?
No?
I think yeah, anger might come first because as a parent, it's your responsibility to protect your child from any possible danger. But we also should take note that Will actually tried his best to save Stella from danger. So I think that's very heartwarming to see.
Yeah.
So any other question? Any other answers? Answers, guys.
Yeah, well, me personally, I wouldn't be mad given the circumstances. As a parent, my top concern would be my child's safety, of course. So I wouldn't waste my energy hating or being angry. Though I understand that you think it's natural, of course it is, but me personally, I don't think I would be. I would thank him instead. Like, thank you for at least trying if ever she did contract it.
Yes, that is
I actually agree with you because in a way it's a double-edged sword. Like yes, Stella will contract this passion from Will, but let's not forget the fact that they are both CF patients. So if Stella would have some damages, Will also himself would have some damages. So Will really took a big risk, the biggest risk in his
It
life.
could make matters worse for him too.
Yeah.
And did it
Kudos for him
anyway.
for that.
Yeah.
He did it for what?
Love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn love. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay.
Again with the spin the wheel.
Mm-hmm. Let's give Will to win here. Question number 9.
Okay.
Question number 9. Have you ever blamed yourself for someone's loss? Kinda heavy. So this is
What loss though?
any kind of loss. Any kind of loss in
It
general.
really depends on circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, when my grandma died, I blamed myself for the part that I didn't spend more time with her when she was alive. And I felt so guilty about it that I, end up blaming myself, something like that.
Actually, for my part, this is very sensitive, but I did blame myself, just like Atizian. I blamed myself in a way that I did not reach for the person who lost his life, one of my friends. I did not reach out to him once more before he took his last breath. So I think until now, I hold very heavy guilt to the fact that I did not efforted to reach out and be friends with him again because he and I quarreled and we decided to cut off each other. I think that is also my biggest regret, not being able to say proper goodbye or even communicate and clear the misunderstanding between us at that time. So it's really heavy. Yeah.
Well, for me, I am a product of teenage pregnancy. So I blame myself for the loss of my mother's youth or childhood. Yun lang. I don't want to elaborate.
I mean, it's okay, self-blame is very human.
Yes,
it
was. It makes us human. For me, I don't know my.
It's okay.
Actually, this is not really like a very serious topic actually, especially compared to your examples. It's very trivial because this happened when I was a child in elementary school. Someone lost, my classmate lost his eraser. That's
You had us.
there.
I am not talking to her.
We are with you.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Eraser,
I was the one who lost the eraser.
eraser is actually a staple in a child's pencil case, so that's a big loss. I got a
It will be a big deal if you lost an eraser or a pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? They have.
For example, like for my parent, sometimes we get quarrel with my parents. Sometimes we're not in good terms.
Yeah.
But I will for sure I will feel regret if I did not reach out.
To them after.
Oh yeah,
the
after
quarrel.
I hurt them or communicate for each other, so we won't have any regrets. We will not blame for ourselves if
Anything happens.
yes.
Okay. So, next question.
Go. We have. Oh. Question number 3. Okay. Question number 3. What do you feel about post-death?
Oh.
Oh,
It was very
it was very
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a sudden,
Yeah.
like
Sudden death.
Yeah, sudden death, untimely death.
Yeah.
And you know, to think that before post-death, they actually celebrated Will's birthday. And you know, it's like
Was it
for
their last
Poe
moment?
Poe died
Yeah.
on Will's birthday.
Yes.
So it's very heavy, you know. Every single year you're reminded of your birthday. You're also reminded that someone died on that day.
Someone special.
Someone special. Someone who is your friend. And you know, post-death was actually foreshadowed.
It's like it serves as a wake-up call for Stella and Will to reevaluate their
Priorities.
their life and their relationships, something like that.
I think relating to Poe, especially when I also have a best friend myself, when I read that part of the book, I was heavy crying because I was imagining in myself, what if it's my best friend who's actually dying? Makutok pala yun. No, but when you think about it, someone very close to you since you were just a child, and then them disappearing just in a blink of an eye was a very heartbreaking thing, especially when you were not ready yet to lose them. Imagine, Poe was still celebrating one moment and then the other, his life is gone. He's gone from the world. So I think it's very heartbreaking in a way that it reminds us how short our lives is, and any time can really disappear from this world without even us knowing. Yeah.
The next question, let's roll up. Okay. Question number 6. Oh, okay. This one's exciting.
Yes.
One. Have you ever tolerated your friend's stupidity because of love?
Oh!
Yeah, I think all of us
Yeah.
have done the same thing
Yeah,
that
everyone's stupid when it comes
Paul
to
did
love.
to Stella.
Yeah. So.
I have a friend.
Where's the tea?
stupid. Huh?
Where's the tea?
We all have a friend.
We all have that friend. Shout out to you.
Wherever you're watching.
Yeah, you're my seatmate.
In which course?
See you on Monday.
On every course. So on my right. So yeah, very stupid in love. Always tolerating the bad acts. It's just that I'm already having I'm at my last drink, and I don't think I can tolerate it anymore. That's all.
You've had enough.
You've had enough. Okay.
Very sudden. So yeah, friendships often, have their moments, stupid moments. I mean, I think I'm not the one who's kanang always tolerating. I'm the one who is always being tolerated. Surprise! Yeah, I used to do things, that's out of
Very questionable.
very questionable. But I think it wasn't that bad, and it's like the tolerance, my friend's tolerance is just valid. Yeah, it's understandable. As friendships often require understanding, and patience.
Support.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Kudos to our friends.
Yeah.
Tell
As
me
for
about
me, I'm actually that friend who keeps on nagging the other who's stupid. I had this friend in senior high, so she actually confessed, not to me, she confessed that she has someone she's in love with, a long-time partner. And let's just say their relationship was very rocky. It was a very rocky relationship, and to me, it sounded toxic. So I told her, "You're not already happy with that. Just let it go."
Yes. What's the point of staying, right?
No, like
It means so toxic.
yeah, like I validate your feelings. You're in love. Yeah, but when it comes to things that are stupid, when it comes to you being
In love.
yeah, in love,
She
you
doesn't deserve all that.
she doesn't deserve being hurt. Like her feelings are being invalidated, and that is a very red flag. Actually, communication is key in every relationship, romantic or not.
Yes.
And that, my friend, is one of the mantras you should uplift. You should have communication. Amen? Amen. Okay.
Kim?
I have nothing to answer.
How do you, girl?
I was like,
Yeah.
Well, I have tolerated a friend you may or may not know her. I have tolerated a friend not because of her love for like another person, but because of my love for her. She had done like stupid things, like things that I don't really agree with, and things that really just makes me wanna scratch my head. But because I love her,
You just
I mean-
kinda ignore, brushed off the flaws.
I try to tell her off, but I don't want to come off too strong.
you don't want
I don't want to be like a nagger because I'm not her mother. And she's grown. I mean, it's her
Really
life.
aware.
Yes.
And I love her, so I'm gonna leave her alone. I'm gonna let her do her thing, and I'm just, be here and let her come to me whenever she needs. Yeah, because I love her.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
Okay, on
Step
to
up.
the...
Okay. On to the next question. This is the last.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, the last one. Please forget.
lucky number
2. Bingo. So, if Stella contracted B. cepacia, will the gap between between her and Will lessen?
the
So,
gap between
her
her
and
Will.
Will.
Yeah.
So, flashback, they have that 5 feet rule where they still have both CF and Will has the B. cepacia. And also in this situation, Stella has the B. cepacia. She already contracted it. Do you think that distance will, be longer or will make it short since they have, same illness? There's a similarity.
Actually, it will be worsen her condition. Like, for example, it was also stated in the story about flashback of the relationship between Amy and Trevor, right?
Yeah.
When
Previous patients of Bob.
Yeah.
when she was a new nurse, then they were they were having a relationship. They were allowed to break the rules, spend time with each other,
And
meet
and
each other.
Yeah, and if you come to think of it, their emotional connection would be even more stronger
Yeah.
because now they would finally understand each
Each
other's
other.
struggles and boundaries.
Yeah.
Even more when
But
they have
still,
both.
they still have to take precautionaries.
Yeah.
I think it will be 10 feet apart. It doubled.
But the possible happens if ever Stella will be contracted to BC patient, it will be similar to conditions with Amy with Trevor, which is Amy with BC patient,
And
lived
then
for a
Trevor
decade, and then Trevor
died
and
8
died
months
because
later.
yes,
Right.
Yeah, because of the
He
BC.
immediately got the same disease
yes.
that Amy had.
Stella is lucky.
Stella is lucky.
Very lucky
If
actually.
she contracted, it won't be 6 feet apart. It will be 6 feet under.
That's
So I think our episode for today is extended to at its most. Yeah.
We have many things to say about love, it turns out.
Yeah. Okay, girls. Okay, so for the last question, everyone, what would you do? How would you feel if you were Stella or if you were Will? And who will you choose to be? Who would you rather choose to be? In Stella's shoes or in Will's shoes? Okay, so I want all of us to answer this. So, Taurus.
I think I would
rather be
Will.
Will.
Yeah, because I personally don't like right now. I'm not ill. I'm
Thank
healthy.
God. Thank God.
As far as I know, I'm healthy, and I don't really know what I'm living for. So if I were to choose between the two, I would live like Will. I would,
Will.
dream and hope for, fun and for exciting things to happen. And if I couldn't, I would break the rules. I mean, if I die, we're all gonna die. So I might as well live before I die.
Yes. For me, actually, I also want to go or want to be Will. Because like his point of view is kind of practical for someone with an illness. If we're gonna die today, we just live like there's no tomorrow. We should live our life to the fullest, because what's the point of making things or doing things longer or planning things when you can do them now? Especially with the illness, it's like death is looming over you. Death is like someone beside you. Not you. Like death is someone beside you. So why don't you just grab the opportunity to be free?
To be free.
To be free. It's something. To fly.
I also, what was the question again?
Would you rather be Will? Would you rather be Will?
Yeah, I
or
would
Stella?
rather be Will, because we from the story that we have read, we knew Will as a free-spirited person, a risk-taker, and I want something in that in me.
Are you not a risk taker?
Not really. I'm a
You're more of a Stella?
but that's why I chose.
So
wanna
you're
try.
more like Stella, so you want to be Will this time.
Yeah.
Oh, I think for me, so I think for me, I actually want to be Will, but part of me wants to be Stella, because it's amazing to list all the things that you need to do in one day and then just crash them out. Because as someone who has lived a life in a very procrastinator way, I think it will really have great discipline if you will be like Stella, and I want that discipline in myself. Yeah. So.
I dreamed before to become like Stella, but now I just want to become like this, like free spirit, a rebel, and like he rather will do anything he want. When he became 18, he will do anything he want. He will travel. He could express his feelings through cartoons and traveling, and of course, because of that, he was not what do you call that? He was not like minding his treatments, because he was gonna die anyway. Maybe he thinks that death is inevitable.
That is very nice. Okay, so I think that is all for
That wraps it up.
yeah. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to our today's podcast. Even though it was very, very, very lengthy actually. So Patrice, I will gonna have to call you for the closing because I'm already at my last energy.
Okay, so as what Keith said, we're ending our podcast right now. And thank you so much to our viewers, our avid viewers, for sticking with us for a whole hour. And also, below, we will link the fairy lights link. And we'll also link below our podcast channel on Spotify. Help us reach 10 million viewers. We only need 100 more. Then we'll get that golden play button, I guess. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Fit check because our fit is so nice.
Say hi, Nikki.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Bye bye.
Bye.